Get ready, Staten Island. It's time to celebrate 5 years of Ferry Hawks baseball.
This week, come out to the ballpark as the Ferry Hawks welcome in the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars at Staten Island University Hospital Community Park for a homestand on June 10th. For a 5-game series as the Ferry Hawks welcome in the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars. Individual game tickets start at just $12.
Visit ferryhawks.com now to lock in your seats.
Sunday morning, what is going on in our country? Well, let's go to Middle America. Let's go to Oklahoma. And what is this morning is Senator James Lankford. He was a minister. He's a politician. He cares about America. Well, Senator, I mean, I understand you work till 5 o'clock in the morning, Friday morning, just to get some bills passed. Tell America what is going on, because we got a couple of, there's no other way to say it. We got a couple of nut jobs that don't want what's best for America.
Yeah, it's challenged. So good Sunday morning from the middle of America, and hope everyone gets a chance to get to church and get some downtime today to be able to rest and refresh on it. Thursday, the Senate started voting on the funding for ICE and CBP. Now, these are federal law enforcement folks that they spend literally their days protecting the United States. Democrats do not want to fund them, period. They look at every ICE agent, every CBP agent as Gestapo, as they call them. They don't want to be able to fund them. They think everything from the tragic incident that happened in Minnesota a month or two ago, they look at that and say that's just true of every agent. It's just absolutely not true. These are the folks that are literally laying their life down to protect the country. So we worked through a process to try to get funding, because Democrats have blocked funding for this. Got that finally finished, what's called a reconciliation process. It's a very narrow way to do the budgeting. It's hard to do on it, and you can't have any other topic other than those specific things you're working on. So Democrats are bringing up one amendment after another. Starting on Thursday morning, we went all day and then all night, finished up at 5 a.m. on Friday morning, where we finally got that passed so we can actually get full funding for ICE and CBP, which they've not had in a year and a half because Democrats have blocked everything. So we finally got that done.
I just can't figure it out, and I hope I had Tom Homan on my show, Katz and Cosby, on Thursday night, and he went to Newark Airport, where they're having all those picketing, and from all the arrests they made, only one person was from New Jersey. The rest of them are out-of-towners, and these people are paid political actors that are coming in from all over the country to create a problem.
They are. This is the focus of the hardcore left right now, is that when things are running smooth, they've got to find some way to be able to create an incident to make it look like things are not running smooth. So they've literally got protesters from all over the country coming in, convening on New Jersey, trying to create something where there's not something. I mean, their whole focus was the food wasn't good enough in the facility for ICE. Well, it's ridiculous. Of course they're getting food. As Mark Wayne Mullen said, it's not 5-star hotel food, but they're definitely taking care of all the people there. And it is incarceration, by the way. So it is a different level. This is not a fine dining restaurant, but they are getting enough food to be able to sustain them that's clean, that's healthy, to be able to do it. But this is just protesters trying to create a moment. As you've seen all the pictures on it. These are folks that are just screaming at law enforcement hour after hour after hour, trying to wear them down so they'll make a mistake. Then they can show a video of them on social media and say, look how terrible they are. I have to tell you, most people, if they've been screamed at hour after hour after hour, day after day after day, don't handle it well. The folks that are there in law enforcement, they're living up to their training and handling it really well.
Well, Senator, the other thing that has to happen, and I'm going to try to talk to the FCC today, is these people are putting on a play for the benefit of the American people. They're paid protesters, and they're creating a scene. They're creating a play about protesting, and with lies. And the major channels, ABC, CBS, and NBC, are carrying it like it's real. But it's not
Like
really
it's real.
real. They're paid protesters.
It's not. It is like a what they call a deep fake video, except they're just acting it out to try to create this whole moment. And again, they've all got their cameras out. They're all trying to get one moment. That's what they're looking for. Just one moment where somebody in law enforcement makes a mistake, and then they can say, this is what they're all like, and this is what they do all the time. When instead the camera should be turned around on them. The story should really be on these protesters coming in from Portland, Oregon, and from all over the country that are just anarchists. These are folks that literally want to tear down our economy. They're communists. They're anarchists. They're folks that do not share our values, and they want to destroy our country, and they want to have open borders, and their whole focus is completely different than the vast majority of the American people, but they're trying to be able to cram down their values on us.
Absolutely. I've tried to make the differential between immigrants, like immigrants that came through Europe and Ellis Island, and those people, immigrants came here to work 80 hours a week and make a better life for their families. Migrants came here to change our way of life.
Yep. Yeah, it's totally different. I have no problem with guests coming into our country, becoming American citizens, share our values, our work ethic. That is not an issue. Come from all over the world. We welcome people and have always welcomed people as Americans. In fact, 250 years ago, we lose track of this sometimes, John. 250 years ago, when we wrote a letter to good King George and said, goodbye, we're leaving you on July the 4th, 1776, in the Declaration of Independence, one of the things that we wrote into that, one of our complaints against the king, is that he was blocking immigration into our country. So we've been a nation that has invited people in since we weren't even a nation yet, even. So that's core of who we are. But it's different when somebody breaks into your house and steals your things, commits crime, and doesn't share your values. That's totally different than legal immigration coming into our country.
I just don't understand why some of these Democrats they are representing the criminals more than they represent the American citizens. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
They celebrate the criminals. That's how you end up with folks like the good senator from Maryland, Chris Van Hollen, heading all the way down to a prison in Central America so he can sit down and drink margaritas with someone who was illegally present in the country and was deported, so he can celebrate people that are not legally present in the country. I celebrate people that did it the right way. They celebrate people that did it the wrong way.
I agree 100%. Now, President Trump has done the right thing, but in Venezuela, we got the drugs down there. How, you're in Oklahoma, your people are in Oklahoma, how is the drug traffic coming in from Mexico? Is it better?
It is getting significantly better with the block in immigration, where we're not allowing people to illegally cross the southern border. And when I say southern border, I mean the border between Texas and Mexico. Sometimes when you're in Oklahoma, they'll jokingly say the border is between Oklahoma and Texas, but that's a whole different issue. When that changed, when President Trump came in and started enforcing our southern border, the amount of drugs coming into Oklahoma significantly dropped. The other thing that people outside of our state would know is Oklahoma was overrun with Chinese criminal organizations and people that were Chinese nationals that illegally crossed the border, came into Oklahoma and set up illegal marijuana grows and then started distributing marijuana all over the country from these illegal grow operations. But they were partnered with Mexican cartels, Chinese criminal organizations, and they would work together to be able to distribute drugs all over. So that has dramatically stopped now, and that's a huge benefit for us. I mean, we're talking in rural Oklahoma, execution-style murders of Chinese nationals as these different criminal organizations went at each other, as well as trying to be able to sell drugs all over the state and the nation on it. That has come to a dramatic stop, and that is very helpful to our state. We're a state that welcomes outsiders, but we don't want illegal operations, and we certainly don't want Chinese criminal organizations setting up.
Now, the most important thing, we have a November election coming up.
We do.
Are we able to control, make sure legal people vote, that American citizens vote in federal elections only?
Yeah, that is a big issue. That's something we actually brought to the Senate and voted on twice again this week trying to be able to push through the Save America Act. Very straightforward, just making sure that someone's an American citizen. It's already American law. You have to be an American citizen to vote in an American election. We just have all trust and no verify. We just say we trust people that they actually are, but we're not actually verifying it. We're looking for verification, not just trust on it, and to be able to make sure they actually don't vote double times, don't do a mail-in ballot, then also show up in person. I mean, this is pretty straightforward. Just no fraud in an election. Have it to be a straightforward election that everyone can trust. That's a simple thing. So we're continuing to be able to push this with the Save America Act, but also want to be able to make sure that they can do it. I mean, you got states like New Hampshire, not far from where you're sitting right now. It is already the law in New Hampshire that you have to verify your citizenship before you can vote. It's not a crazy idea. This is happening in different parts of the country already, and it's already state law. We just want to make sure that it is federal law as well, that you've got to verify your citizenship before you can vote.
I agree 110%. Anything else you want to tell the American people?
No, keep praying for the nation. There's a lot of tension, obviously, in the Middle East right now. The president's working his tail off to resolve the issues with Iran. Those issues aren't new with Iran. Anyone who tracks the Middle East has known these have been problems 47 years in the making, where Iran's been attacking the United States every opportunity they can. President Trump's trying to prevent them from having a nuclear weapon, prevent them from carrying out acts of terrorism, both to Israel, our ally and friend, or to American citizens, and to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. So a lot of tough negotiations there. I visited with Marco Rubio earlier this week. We had a great conversation about it, but it's really tough negotiating on that. So keep praying for the nation. Sunday's a good day to do that.
Well, thank you so much for coming on this Sunday morning. And, well, Senator, keep fighting in the Senate. Keep fighting for America, because our kids and grandkids are depending on us.
They are. Our generation's responsibility to take care of the next.
Thank you so much.